With Congress in action, how do you intend to go out there as members of the Soul Sisters? Pito po kayo, 7, including Congresswoman Sandy Ocampo.
Yes, we forgot to mention her earlier. Sandy from the City of Manila.
How do you intend to propagate your group as giving a face for women out there in the country on how important this bill is for them, especially for the marginalized women of this country?
Well, what we're trying to do is we're going around trying to explain our side and explain to the public. Because the public, we really believe that the public has the power to influence Congress. And if the public decides or is in favor or not in favor, then
surveys have stated that they are.
And so we're appealing to the public, since the survey states already that they are in favor. We're appealing to them that we should go out there and talk to our congressmen. We should go out there and speak our minds and tell them that we really need, why do we need, because our congressmen will listen. They will listen to the voices of their constituents. So we're hoping that the constituents will provide information to our congressmen and why we need it in our society.
What are the most basic questions that are asked by your constituents? Say, for example, whenever you go home to Pangasinan.
Okay, in my case, what I did was I decided to have believe it or not, a 12-hour motorcade. We stopped in every single town in my district. I have 8 towns and 1 city. And I brought resource persons. I brought a doctor and 2 other ladies to talk about the bill. So what I did was, in each town, I stopped and we had open forums. And I encouraged my constituents to ask questions regarding the RH bill.
What are the questions that they normally ask from one town and to the city of Ordineta? Yung mga basic
questions? Actually, it's funny because they're already talking like the bill has been passed. It's like they're really excited about it. Well, so the questions they ask are, will our health centers be improved now? I mean, will we be able to plan our families? And then they ask the doctor, how true is it? What the misconceptions about taking birth control pills? And normally those are the questions. Healthcare questions, and then, well, actually they're really, you can see that they are all out supporting it. So I really believe that the surveys are quite accurate.
Now, how do you deal now with the resistance of the Catholic Church, especially if you are from, I think, Panay Island or Iloilo? I mean, the bishops there are very much against the RH bill. So how do you, discuss this with those, with the church or even with Catholics in that particular area?
Well, believe me, it's not just in Iloilo. There's more provinces.
Yeah.
That's true. Iloilo is very religious. And in fact, my sister-in-law, Congresswoman Garin, is the major sponsor of this bill. And she has been, the church has been campaigning against her for so long because she was supporting the RH bill. And almost every day, you can hear her name in the morning mass. But that did not deter my sister-in-law. And since she's been supporting the RH bill, we have never lost a relation. So I don't think, I think it also speaks a lot about the intelligence of the public. It speaks a lot about their conscience, that despite being very Catholics, they are very supportive of the RH bill. So how do we deal with that? I think in the same way that the church is dealing with us, they listen to us, they listen to our side, and hopefully we come to a compromise at the end. But I think it's a good debate, it's a good form of democracy, this RH bill, and hopefully it will result to something that everyone is happy.
Well, some people say, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, in my case, I'd like to say that we're not picking a fight with the Catholic Church, Freddie. In fact, I went to speak to 2 bishops in my province to explain my side. And I asked for them to understand where I'm coming from. And at the same time, I also tell my constituents that to please respect also the teachings of the Church, although I do not believe that we are literally committing any sin by taking oral contraceptives. So I know that it may sound a little bit, contradictory, but I really believe that there should be a separation between church and state. So I'm representing my constituents. I'm not representing the church. And many of my constituents are not Catholics. So, and many are too. And yet they're still pro-RH. So I just don't want to pick a fight with the church. I just hope they understand that this bill is really pro-poor and we're just being compassionate to the needs of our constituents.
Well, what's wrong with having plenty of children?
Nothing.
They're saying that, some people are saying, you don't need to, why should it be the cause of poverty to...
Okay, let's make it clear. The bill states that nobody is going to be forced to have, whether to have 10 children or 2 children. It's really up to each couple. What the bill is really about is providing a choice. So those who would like to avail of reproductive health care services can avail. Those who do not want to and want to have 10 children, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's really about trying to teach people how to be responsible parents, how to bring children into this world that they can nurture, that they can provide for, feed, and educate.
Like who among us have more children? It's the poorest families. Yeah. Why? Not because it's mostly because the richer families have more access to family planning. Not only access, they have information. They know about family planning. If you go to the provinces, they have no idea about family planning because the LGU cannot teach them. Their health service don't have the facilities. So when families have in agricultural sector, families have 6 children. What do? Children are put into child labor. Napatrabaho sa farms, right? Or some children are being sent off to other families to work or to stay in other families to alleviate the financial burden. So it's not the ideal situation. It's not because they don't want their children, but it's because it has not been planned very well. If you can plan, if you can space your children, like every 2 years, 3 years, then you have enough gap to be able to take care of them fully. So that's the thing about it's not about controlling the number of children. It's about giving quality life for their children.
Well, for somebody who's been a mayor, Quezon City has passed its own ordinance
yes.
wherein reproductive health, the RH bill is now being implemented.
Yes.
If a municipality or any city does not have that, doesn't it happen, say for example you as a mayor can invest part of your budget for family planning or population management?
Yes. You're not ready? You hit the nail on the head. That's precisely why we need an enabling bill. Quezon City is a very rich city. 4th-class municipalities, probably like Season, Pangasinan, when I entered, was a 4th-class municipality. Cannot afford to, even if I wanted to as a mayor, have my own reproductive health care implemented, I couldn't, because it would be monetarily impossible. See, so like, it really, why do we need an enabling bill? Because it should not be left to the hands of what the belief of the mayor is, or the president for that matter, or the governor for that matter. If there's an enabling bill, no matter what the opinion of the mayor, the president, or the governor is, does not matter. There's a law that says that a certain percent of the money of budget should be appropriated to reproductive health care every year, then it shall happen. But if there's no law, then how is it supposed to happen? I mean, everybody will start making their own decisions. And the majority of the people will suffer in the end. Poor.
Like, for example, like in Quezon City, they had like our age, basically. They had family planning. And then while in the city of Manila they did not have that. So what did the mothers in Manila do? They go to Quezon City.
Is that a fact?
Yes.
So and worse, okay, in Manila, I'd like to say this. Manila doesn't have reproductive health care, but where's Quiapo Church? Where is Quiapo Church? That's in Manila, right? Do you know that? Just go into the internet. There's a video there. They'll show you that young pregnant adults, not adults, young pregnant women, like 13, 14, 15-year-olds, they go to the front of Quiapo Church, and that's where they look for, that's where they meet up with abortionists who bring them into their clinics in the back. And they have no choice but to do things like that. So it's kind of ironic. Here's the city, not including reproductive health care, and yet in front of the church, that's where they go to find the abortionists.
No, but don't you think the RH bill, if you had condoms and contraceptives, would promote also promiscuity?
Of course not.
I mean, at a very young age. I mean, if there is no RH bill now, I mean, women can go pregnant as early as 12 and 13. So if they had a contraceptive or a condom,
RH bill is happening, definitely. But I think the RH bill includes age-appropriate education. So, when something is so taboo or hush-hush, young people like to discover. But you see, if we bring it out in the open and talk about it in a responsible way and make young people understand their bodies and their moral, and teach them about morality, I think that it would help.
That argument would saying that if you teach them about using contraceptives, they'll have more sex, no? But no, it's like saying that if you let people use seatbelts, they'll drive more fast. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So I don't really believe that. I don't really believe that would promote promiscuity.
Okay, we'll continue with Congress in Action after we pause for this reminder. So we'll be back.